Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. And today, well, this is actually going to be a quickie. A quickie because I limit myself to 3 different composers, unless we have a mega stash of a major composer. I see one looming on the horizon, a large composer thing. But in this case, we really do have 3, and I only have a couple representative titles for each of them. And one isn't even a composer. It's a thing. It's a style, a medium. But the first composer, so there's only 5 discs. We'll get through them rather rapidly. We begin with Esa-Pekka Salonen, the composer. Now, this is very interesting, actually, because I always wonder, see, it gives me a chance to pontificate. I've got time. I always wonder, how is it that conductors who play so much music by other people manage to find their own individual styles? I mean, how do they know that what they're writing isn't like something they've already heard from somewhere else? I mean, Leonard Bernstein obviously comes to mind because he was a composer whose music drew freely on its antecedents and still managed to sound like Leonard Bernstein, that's for sure. But boy, when you know so much music by other people and to find time for your own creative work, and Salonen is a good composer. He really is. I mean, his music has distinctive qualities. It's not really tonal. It's not offensively avant-garde. It's very, very well written. And the first disc, I think, of his stuff, or one of the first, was this one. It was on Sony, world premiere recording. The LA Variations, which he wrote for the Los Angeles Philharmonic, which was his orchestra at the time. And then 5 Images After Sappho with Dawn Upshaw, soprano. And Gyro for orchestra, as in Gyro, I don't know, G-I-R-O, I don't know if you want to pronounce it. Mania for violoncello, solo, and ensemble with Anssi Karttunen cello, and finally Gambit for orchestra. An interesting selection. Music worth getting to know. I mean, it's colorful and it moves and it has atmosphere, and I think he's good. I really do. I think he's a good guy. And here's one of his DG releases. There have been a few of those. Foreign Bodies for orchestra in 3 parts: body language, and then just plain language, and then dance is the end. Wing on Wing for a couple sopranos and orchestra, presumably, I guess. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I try to memorize everything, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And then Insomnia for orchestra. That I remember. That was fun. Anyway, I remember Insomnia. And so let's see, what does it say here about Wing on Wing and Insomnia? Testify of the fact. Okay, so their grammar's not great. Testify to the fact that Esa-Pekka Salonen hits the nerve of his time. Okay, whatever that means. It's crap nonsense. All right. So that was Salonen. So, having done that, we now move on to 2 volumes on Naxos of Salon orchestra favorites. Couldn't be more different. I love this stuff. There's so much cool stuff in here. And some really talented composers of light music and serious composers who are arranged for light thingies. And we have here music by Strecker Durdla. Remember Durdla? The Serenade #1, the Kubelik Serenade, Durdla. Albanese, Leon Cavallo, Arditi, Linka, Toselli, Fibbich, Stoltz, Robert Stoltz, I mean, we know him. More Leon Cavallo, lots of that stuff. Sichinski, Padilla, Drigo, Waldteufel, and Anton Rubinstein, the famous melody in F major. You listen to these things and you recognize some of them. You've heard them before. You've heard them in elevators. You've heard them in salons. And you never knew who wrote them. So I tell you, this is fun. This is with the Salon Orchestra Schwanen under Georg Huber. And they did 2 discs. Disc #2 contains music by Rixner, Luigi Denza, Funiculi, Funicula, yay! Georges Boulanger, not Natalie, or her sister, who are très sérieuses. And let's see, Ernst Fischer, Südlich der Alpen. Oh, this is the south of the Alps here. It's really cool. There's a Tarantella. Lovely. Leroy Anderson, The Blue Tango. A. Ferraris, Gerhard Winkler, Edgardo Donato, Oscar Freitas, Erdelyi, Monach auf der Alster. Well, it must be in Hamburg that Oscar Freitas was writing. Then we've got Pusta Fox. Oh, that's by Erdelyi. And we've got, let's see, Ralph Irwin and another Leroy Anderson, Belle of the Ball. These are wonderful, just fun, enjoyable, vacuum your house while you listen to them type recordings. And I just love light classics collections. I do. I really do. And last but not least, and I really mean this, is music by Finnish composer. We're back to the Finns, because lots of Finnish composers have last names that begin with an S and an A. Salonen, Salpison, Sausage, Samsonite, whatever. And this is Eriks Salmenhaara. This is rather cool. Now, Salmenhaara was a composer who began as sort of an avant-garde-ish guy, and then sometime in the 60s, he dumped atonality and returned, like so many composers did. But he did it a lot earlier than a lot of others and got a lot of crap for it in Finnish avant-garde circles. There's nothing that the emperors hate more than being told that they're not wearing any clothes. And the reaction of the avant-garde and the atonal academic serialists to people who basically said that they've been full of shit all this time was not nice. Not nice. And his music is really interesting. First, there's Suomi-Finland, a 20-minute long sort of sideways glance at Sibelius's Finlandia, somewhat updated. It's well worth hearing. And La Fille en mini-jupe, the girl in the mini skirt. Adagietto, a lovely piece. And then La Bateau Ivre. These are big orchestral works that are really, really worth exploring. You can hear the antecedents, some of his more avant-garde gestures, but on the whole, he's emerging into this sort of almost a neoclassical style. It's hard to describe, but you've got to hear it, and it's really interesting. This is with the Tampere Philharmonic Orchestra under Eric Kloss. It's on Ondine. God knows if it's still available, but I saved it. It was worth keeping and hanging on to. I would really like to hear more Salmenhaara. There's not a lot out there, I don't think. I could be wrong since I haven't checked in a while. But he's definitely someone worth getting to know. So there you have it, my friends. Keep on listening and take care.